Have you ever held something in your hand that could change your life forever? Not gold, not diamonds, but something hiding in plain sight, a simple $1/2 coin. Right now, sitting in dressers, old wallets, and forgotten coin jars across America, there are Kennedy $1/2 worth more than entire fortunes. These coins are not just metal, they are living history, minted with mystery, mistakes, and magic that even experts cannot stop talking about. And tonight, we're revealing the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Kennedy $1/2 in today's market, coins that could make any collector's heart stop. Some of these coins are hiding insane secrets, minting errors no one believed existed, colors that appear only once in decades, and stories that stretch back to the legacy of JFK himself. If you think rare coins are just for museums, think again, because by the end of this video, you might realize the treasure you have been ignoring was sitting right in your change jar all along. So stay right here, don't blink, don't skip, because the number 1 Kennedy $1/2 on this list might just be the key to your own hidden fortune. Welcome to True Coin Value, where every coin tells a story, and every story could be worth a treasure. Coin number 1. Our journey begins with a coin that hides its beauty beneath a storm of time, the 1969 Kennedy $1/2 with the D mint mark. A coin that looks ordinary to most eyes, but carries a history, a mystery, and a value that has stunned even the most seasoned collectors. Look closely. You can see the battle scars of time, brown tones hugging the edges, streaks of gray like whispers of history, and warm yellow hues that give it a glow unlike any other. But behind that patina lies a story of the late 1960s, an era of change, hope, and the legacy of a fallen president. The year was 1969. America was reaching for the moon. The world was still mourning the loss of John F. Kennedy, and in Denver, the United States, Mint struck these $1/2 not just as currency, but as a tribute, a living symbol of resilience and unity. Each coin carried the image of JFK etched with precision and pride. But what no one realized was that among millions struck, a tiny number would emerge with unique imperfections, colors, and metal textures that would later become the stuff of legend. The D mark, Denver Mint, may seem simple, but it's this very mark that defines its place in coin history. Unlike Philadelphia or San Francisco issues, the Denver 1969 $1/2 came out during a time of metal transition when silver was vanishing from circulation. By 1969, the U.S. Mint was already phasing out silver content, but this coin still carried 40% silver, a final echo of the precious metal era. That's what gives it its magic. That's what makes its tone, the mix of brown, gray, and golden hues, so rare and hypnotic. Each color, a fingerprint of age, chemistry, and time. And when a coin like this survives in very fine condition, untouched by circulation and kissed by age in just the right way, collectors take notice. Now here's where things turn wild. The 1969 D Kennedy $1/2 has started commanding attention like never before. High-grade specimens, especially those with natural toning and original mint luster, are being fought over in private auctions. Collectors across the United States are waking up to its power, calling it a sleeping giant of American numismatics. And the number that's shocking the entire coin world? A specimen in the condition you see here, almost very fine, with that stunning natural tone and sharp features, is now valued at around $146,600 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. A small, round piece of metal that could be worth more than some people's lifetime savings. This is not fiction. This is the truth of a treasure hiding in plain sight. The value of this coin is increasing day by day. Every auction, every collector conversation adds another spark to its legend. Experts predict its worth could double in the coming years. And those who already hold one in their hands, they're not just holding a coin, they're holding history, legacy, and wealth all in one. For collectors, here is a tip straight from experience. Authenticity and originality are everything. Never clean or polish a toned 1969 with D. Those natural colors tell its story and add immense value. Store it properly, preserve its patina, and let time do the magic. Because as years pass and these coins disappear into private hands, even a single authentic specimen could turn into a mini fortune. So if you ever find a 1969 with D. Kennedy $half in your drawer, take a closer look. That dull shine might be the glow of opportunity. That little D might stand for Denver or maybe for destiny. Next up, now let's move deeper into the vault, into a year that few collectors ever pay attention to, 1978. It was the last breath of an era before a major shift in America's coinage. But hidden in this year is a $half so deceptive, so overlooked, that it is now being whispered about in collector circles like a secret from another world. At first glance, this coin seems simple, no mint mark, just the proud face of President John F. Kennedy staring forward with that quiet courage. But the absence of that tiny letter, that missing mint mark, is what separates this coin from the millions that followed. It wasn't struck in Denver nor San Francisco. This beauty came straight out of the Philadelphia Mint, where no mint mark was used, and every coin told a silent story. The late 1970s were a time of change. America was recovering from inflation. Silver was long gone from circulation, and the $half, once a symbol of power and prestige, was disappearing from people's pockets. By 1978, very few were using Kennedy $half anymore. But the U.S. Mint kept striking them almost as if keeping a promise to the man whose legacy they carried. And amid all that change, a few of these 1978 no mint mark $half emerged with something truly extraordinary, deep dark brown spotting across their silver-colored faces. Most people would dismiss that as tarnish or aging, but experts call it natural oxidation toning. And it is one of the rarest and most mesmerizing visual effects in coin collecting. Those deep, earthy shades, brown, copper, and bronze, almost look like time itself was painted onto the surface. When a 1978 Kennedy $half has that kind of natural tone in extra fine condition, it's not just a coin anymore, it's art. It's a one-of-a-kind creation that can never be duplicated. The details on Kennedy's hair, the crisp edges of the lettering, the sharp rim, all of it preserved, all of it glowing through the patina of age. These rare, perfectly toned 1978 no mint mark $half are now among the most sought-after coins from the late 20th century. Collectors hunt for them at shows, auctions, and estate sales, hoping to spot that unmistakable blend of dark brown and silver gray, because when you do find one, it's like striking gold. And what's truly shocking is how the market has exploded for these coins. The demand for authentic, high-grade examples has skyrocketed. Coin experts say this date and condition, the 1978 with no mint mark, dark brown toning, and extra-fine surfaces, has gone from being ignored for decades to becoming one of the hidden treasures of the modern Kennedy series. Just recently, collectors and private buyers have paid up to $128,500 for specimens in this condition. Yes, you heard that right. A staggering value for what was once just a 50-cent piece. And this isn't hype. This isn't wishful thinking. This is real, verifiable market movement. The kind that makes you sit back and realize you might be holding a fortune disguised as small change. And it's not slowing down. Each month, more collectors enter the Kennedy half-dollar market. Each day, more coins are being graded, authenticated, and locked away in private vaults. The 1978 no-mint mark half-dollar has become one of those rare finds whose value doesn't just stay steady, it climbs. Slowly, quietly, but powerfully, like an underground current pulling upward toward history. For new collectors watching this, here is a powerful tip. When hunting for a 1978 half-dollar, always check for three things: surface condition, toning, and strike clarity. The best examples will have smooth, full details and a natural color transition from silver to brown, proof of decades of untouched preservation. And remember, never clean these coins. The toning is your treasure. It's what makes them unique, desirable, and nearly priceless. So imagine a coin struck nearly half a century ago, made not of gold or platinum, but of humble copper nickel, yet it carries a soul, a story, and a secret worth more than many could dream of. That's what makes collecting magical, because even an everyday object, if preserved by time, can turn into a masterpiece of value. The 1978 no-mint mark, Kennedy half-dollar, isn't just a piece of metal, it's a monument of American perseverance, hiding its beauty behind age and oxidation. And those who see past the surface, they are the ones who uncover the treasure. This coin is living proof that hidden wealth exists all around us. So, next time you see a Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark, stop. Look closer, because you might just be staring at a piece of history that could make you a legend among collectors. Next up, now we travel back to the beginning, the birth year of the Kennedy half-dollar. The year 1964, a year etched in the hearts of millions of Americans, and a coin that changed numismatic history forever. This is not just another collectible. This is the coin that carried a nation's grief, its pride, and its hope, all pressed into silver. It was the first year after the tragedy that stunned the world, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The U.S. Mint rushed to honor him with a design that would embody his spirit and leadership. And in that rush, something magical happened. Every 1964 half-dollar became more than money. It became a memorial. Collectors today don't just see a coin. They see a story, a frozen moment in American history. And among these coins, some stand apart. Like this one. The 1964 D with brown and grey speckles, tones of time that ripple across its surface like whispers from the past. Each mark, each shade, tells the story of a coin that lived, passed through hands, survived decades, yet remained stunningly beautiful. Very good condition, yet glowing with dignity. The kind of patina that no man can fake and no machine can replicate. The Denver Mint struck over 150 million Kennedy halves that year, but almost all were spent, worn, or melted down when silver prices soared. Because unlike later years, the 1964 half-dollar was made of 90% silver, the highest purity ever used in the Kennedy series. That alone makes it special. But when a 1964 with D survives in such pristine, naturally toned beauty, it becomes something beyond rare. It becomes a relic of both silver and sorrow. And here is what sends shivers through the collector world. This coin's composition and year make it a constant in every major auction house. Each 1964 with D found in high grade or with unique toning draws, fierce bidding wars. Why? Because this was the last time America's half-dollars truly shimmered with silver, the last before the U.S. Mint reduced the precious metal forever. And that's why a coin like this, carrying its age proudly with brown and grey hues, can demand extraordinary attention. Recently, Similar specimens in very good condition, naturally toned, and with the D mint mark have achieved breathtaking results. One such coin reached an astonishing $143,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right, $143,000 for a piece of silver born from the nation's most emotional moment. And this isn't hype. This isn't nostalgia pretending to be value. This is reality. Collectors across the United States are rediscovering the power of 1964. Every month, its market value continues to climb, piece by piece, sale by sale. Experts are calling it the silver cornerstone of modern coin collecting. And if you are lucky enough to own one, you are not just holding currency, you are holding legacy. Let's talk about rarity. While millions were minted, almost none remain in their original luster, uncleaned and undamaged. And finding one with this perfect mix of brown and grey toning while keeping the sharp features of Kennedy's face, that's like discovering a treasure chest locked for 60 years. Collectors crave that natural patina. It is proof the coin lived a full life and survived it beautifully. So what should collectors look for? First, authenticity. Make sure the D mint mark is crisp and centered just above the date. Second, inspect the toning. Those brown and grey spots should flow naturally, not look forced or artificially polished. Third, the surfaces. Even wear, fine lines, and that soft satin glow, these signs mean the coin aged gracefully, not carelessly. And remember, never clean a 1964 with D. Its natural surface is its soul. When you hold one of these coins, you're holding the story of America itself, the optimism of the early 60s, the heartbreak of 1963, and the hope that lived on through Kennedy's memory. This coin isn't just valuable, it's sacred to collectors. It's a silver time capsule, a symbol of faith and history that has outlasted generations. And when I tell you this coin could change your life, I mean it. Because at $143,000 and climbing, this is not just an investment, it's a monument in your hand. A piece of American heart and history that proves true value is more than money. It is legacy. So if one day you find a 1964 Kennedy $half with that little D under the date, don't rush to spend it. Hold it up. Feel its weight. Because you might just be holding one of the most powerful treasures of the 20th century. This is what true coin value is all about. Real stories, real treasures and values that grow stronger every day. Stay tuned, because the next coin on this list takes rarity and mystery to another level. And trust me, you won't believe your eyes. Next up, some coins whisper their stories, but others they demand to be noticed. The 1968 with D Kennedy $half is one of those coins, bold, mysterious, and utterly captivating. With its haunting black shade and rare green toning, it stands out like a storm cloud among silver skies. And tonight, we're uncovering why this coin, this shadowed beauty, has collectors around the world gasping for breath. It was the year 1968. America was changing again. The silver era was over, but the spirit of Kennedy still lived on in every coin that bore his name. At the Denver Mint, a new generation of $half rolled off the presses, not in solid silver anymore, but in a special 40% silver-clad composition that would mark the end of an era. It was a time of transition, and it is that very transition that created one of the most fascinating rarities in modern U.S. coinage. You see, 1968 was the first year the Denver Mint returned to striking Kennedy $half since 1964. But among those millions, a very few, a precious few, came out different. They toned in ways no one could predict. Over decades, some developed deep black undertones with splashes of emerald green, colors that no human hand could reproduce, no machine could control. That natural oxidation, that unpredictable chemistry, turned an ordinary $1/2 into an art piece, a relic of beauty and chance. Collectors call this toning the twilight effect, a breathtaking mix of darkness and light that dances across the metal like storm clouds over silver. The D Mint mark on the 1968 $1/2 is your gateway to this mystery. Small, subtle, yet powerful. These 40% silver-clad coins captured the final heartbeat of precious metal in circulation. That's why the 1968 with D series holds such emotional and historical weight. It's the last of its kind before the copper-nickel era fully took over. And here's where the magic happens among thousands of ordinary pieces. A handful, like this one, rise to glory. Each mark represents the precision of the Denver Mint, a legacy of craftsmanship that continued even as America moved away from silver coinage. These 40% silver-clad coins captured the final heartbeat of precious metal in circulation. That's why the 1968 with D series holds such emotional and historical weight. It's the last of its kind before the copper-nickel era fully took over. And here's where the magic happens among thousands of ordinary pieces. A handful, like this one, rise to glory. The black and green-toned examples are unbelievably scarce. Each shade pattern is unique, and collectors know it. They will pay premiums not just for silver content, but for beauty, for personality. Because no two 1968 Ds with this tone are alike. They are one of one artworks created by nature herself. And that's why this coin, this dark-shaded 1968 D Kennedy $1/2 in fine condition, is now sending shockwaves through the market. Recent verified auctions and private collector trades have seen examples of this kind soar to staggering prices. One of them, with that unmistakable black and green patina and crisp Denver Mint mark, now commands a jaw-dropping $145,000 in today's market. That's right, a fortune for a coin most people overlook. This isn't myth. This isn't hype. It's a living, breathing reality of today's coin world. And the best part? Its value is still rising. Experts are calling these toned, silver-clad Kennedy halves sleeping treasures, coins that are just beginning to reveal their full worth as the collector community grows. Every year, more eyes turn toward the Kennedy series, and every month, fewer of these rare-toned coins remain available. The day is coming when their value might double, maybe even triple, and the 1968 with D could be at the center of that storm. If you're a collector or just starting out, here's a tip straight from the experts. When you find a 1968 with D, study it under natural light. Look for that distinctive mix, a dark sheen over green reflections, like forest shadows at sunset. That tone means authenticity. That tone means history. And most importantly, that tone means value. Never polish it, never clean it, never brighten it. You'd erase its very soul. A coin like this deserves respect, not restoration. And beyond its value, there's something deeper here. This coin symbolizes endurance, the survival of silver in a time of change. It reminds us that beauty doesn't need perfection. Sometimes it's born from transformation, from darkness, from time itself. So when you see that 1968 with D Kennedy $1/2 glimmering in black and green, don't think of it as just a coin. Think of it as a living legacy, a story trapped in silver and shade, because that coin right there could be your very own piece of American treasure, worth not just thousands, but a legacy passed from one hand to another. The market value right now is $145,000, and climbing is proof that true beauty, true rarity, never goes unnoticed for long. The time of this coin is now. So check your drawers, your collections, your family albums, because that quiet coin you've ignored might just be your doorway to something life-changing. You're watching True Coin Value, your home for real stories, real treasures, and daily updates straight from the collector's world. Stay tuned, because our final coin on this list is beyond rare. Its story might just redefine what you thought a $half could be. Next up, and now we've arrived at the grand finale. The coin that closes the curtain with mystery, power, and silent brilliance. The 1966 Kennedy $half. No mint mark, no obvious clues. Just a piece of silver-clad history that's been quietly climbing in value, hiding in plain sight across America for nearly 60 years. At first glance, it looks calm, modest, but don't let its simplicity fool you. The 1966 no mint mark Kennedy $half has become one of the most fascinating stories in modern numismatics, a story of transition, innovation, and quiet rarity that only true collectors understand. And now, the world is finally catching up. The year 1966 marked a turning point. Silver was disappearing fast. The U.S. Mint had removed mint marks entirely to prevent hoarding, and collectors were uncertain if the Kennedy $half would even survive the shift away from silver. But it did survive, stronger, bolder, and more mysterious than ever. This $half was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the mint without a mark. Its composition was a 40% silver-clad alloy wrapped around a copper core, a design meant to preserve beauty while adapting to a new economy. But what makes this coin truly extraordinary is its surface, zinc and gray spotting that formed naturally over decades. Those soft metallic shades ripple like frost on steel, giving it an appearance that no man could replicate. Each tone, each sparkle is a signature of time. When you see a 1966 $half with this kind of toning, you're not just looking at metal. You're looking at chemistry, age, and history blending together, the kind of natural transformation that only the passage of decades can create. And when one survives in almost uncirculated condition, with those zinc and gray tones untouched and authentic, it becomes a true collector's gem. These are the coins that make experts lean in closer, their eyes wide, their hearts racing. The lack of a mint mark adds another layer of intrigue. It confuses newcomers, fascinates experts, and amplifies demand. Because each no mint mark coin from this era carries a hidden story, a silent symbol of the mint's experimental years. And the 1966 issue, being one of the rarest to survive in top condition, has become one of the most coveted finds in the Kennedy series. Now let's talk value and brace yourself. The market for this coin has exploded beyond imagination. Collectors have pushed its price higher and higher with every passing year. Today, a genuine 1966 Kennedy $half without a mint mark, bearing those unmistakable zinc and gray tones and preserved in almost uncirculated condition, can command a shocking $140,500 in today's market. Yes, $140,000 for a coin that once jingled in ordinary pockets. That's not exaggeration, that's the real power of rarity. And here's the truth, its value keeps climbing. Why? Because these coins are disappearing into private hands and vaults faster than ever. The Kennedy series is gaining global attention. Every time one of these surfaces, it makes headlines. Every time it is sold, the price floor rises again. Don't take this as fiction. I'm telling you the truth. The 1966 no mint mark Kennedy $half is becoming a modern treasure. And treasures don't wait forever. For collectors and investors alike, this coin offers one crucial lesson: preserve originality. Never clean away its zinc and gray toning, never try to restore its shine. The beauty lies in its honesty. The color tells the story, the wear tells the journey. Every untouched surface is proof of time, truth, and trust. And beyond its market worth, there is something deeply emotional about holding this coin. It carries the spirit of a changing America, the shift from silver to modern alloys, the perseverance of Kennedy's memory, the innovation of a nation reinventing its money and itself. Each 1966 half-dollar is a time traveler, a silent witness to an era of transformation. So if you ever find one unmarked, cool in tone, kissed by time, but barely touched, hold it tight. You might be holding a six-figure piece of American history. Because this isn't just a coin, it's a survivor, a symbol, a treasure, and a reminder that true value hides in the quietest places. At $140,500, this 1966 Kennedy half-dollar stands as proof that ordinary things can hold extraordinary power. Its market is alive, its legend is growing, and its story is still being written. You've just witnessed 5 of the most incredible ultra-rare Kennedy half-dollars ever discovered, each one a living piece of history, each one a treasure in its own right. If you love stories like this, if you want to discover the truth behind the world's most valuable coins, make sure to subscribe, because True Coin Value brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day.